Kidneys are grounding organs for life force energy. The kidneys are directly impacted by the shifting sands of the root grounding mechanism. As this shifts the balance of polarity, it is changing the prana or chi delivery system into the body as the first dimensional architecture is dissolving in the planetary body. The inability of the body to rapidly adapt to being uprooted, poor discernment of life-altering events, heart shocks, along with the toxic overload of chemicals and negative fear-based emotions dumped upon the human population, have produced an epidemic of kidney disease. The kidneys are particularly affected through sympathetic resonances made by changes in the first dimensional grounding mechanism and shifts in chi distribution, along with mental and emotional stress, a poor diet inundated with artificial chemicals, and the fear-based artificial technology assaults. The kidney's job is to remove harmful particles from the blood, emptying them into the bladder for excretion, and maintain the chemistry of the blood and blood pressure by controlling all of the chemicals dissolved in the bloodstream. When the kidneys are impaired and overloaded, toxic waste and chemicals build up in the blood and tissues that cannot be filtered properly. According to the UC San Francisco, more than 650,000 patients per year in the United States and an estimated 2 million patients worldwide are affected by end-stage renal disease. Kidney failure is increasing in the United States by 5% per year, with the two main allopathic treatments offered being kidney machine dialysis or kidney transplantation. 10% of the population has some form of diabetes and neurological pain, and this number appears to be growing steadily in adults and children. What is putting such pressure on our kidneys, and why are they failing? Eastern medical philosophy knows that the kidneys ground other organs for the body. They act as the root of life that is responsible for the protection of the reservoir of vital essence and the distribution of energetic chi power throughout the organ system, reproductive functions, and the entire body. The kidneys are relationship organs, and they suffer when we have relationship issues and sexual imbalances that may be stemming from a lack of interpersonal support or feeling unloved from a lack of physical tenderness. Our emotions travel in our personal energy field, and when energy is being released, one can have an emotional breakthrough that allows the feelings to flow, so we can connect to feeling the emotions moving in the body. This allows release of emotional pain and fear, and provides relief to chronic issues with the kidneys, opening into greater emotional as well as spiritual energetic expansion. Conversely, a closed heart from pain and fear that blocks emotions directly impairs the kidney's water management function and interferes with the distribution of life force energy that is required for a grounded, healthy, and balanced mind and body. Furthermore, when our heart is healed, there is a fire that is ignited inside the heart that is accessed, and this heart flame is also fed by the vital essence stored in the kidneys. There is a triangular link that connects the heart complex into each side of the kidneys, which act like an electrical circuit in our light body. The kidneys are in the base of the triangle from left to right, and the upper point of the triangle is connected in the heart. When the heart is healed, there is a twin flame ignition in our heart and kidneys simultaneously, which shifts the heart configuration into twinning the inner flames. Twin flames equal the restored energetic balance between the masculine and feminine energies that is the structure of light formed within the heart complex. So when the two flames ignite in the heart, the vital essence stored in the kidneys helps to carry the chi flame throughout the physical body to unite with the spiritual flame of the monadic body. The monad is the greater flame of spirit, while the physical body is the lesser flame of vital essence or life force. When these two flames are ignited to unify, there is a burst in the heart flame that sends the fire to grow the vital essence that is produced by the kidneys. The kidneys produce the gate of life, which is a pocket of life force in the lower dantian or hara complex that is required for the monadic spiritual body to seat itself or embody within the physical self. Essentially, the kidneys help to build the inner light body dwelling that is required to seat the monadic body. Any visually guided exercise that intends to build the life force energy in the lower dantian and circulate energy in the bottom of the feet strengthens the kidney's ability to store vital essence, helps adjust grounding mechanism, and also helps perform the physical functions of cleansing the blood. Additionally, there are kidney tonics and herbs that are common to Oriental medicine that are helpful for tonifying kidney function, especially if grounding or core centering has been problematic. Kidney depletion produces adrenal exhaustion. The adrenal glands are endocrine glands that produce a variety of hormones, and they are most especially known to pump cortisol into the bloodstream when under stress that puts the human nervous system into fight or flight reactions. Adrenaline is normally produced by both the adrenal glands and certain neurons that can also be activated through emotional responses. Every emotional response has a behavioral component, an autonomic nervous system component, and a glandular secretion or hormonal factor. The hormonal factors of emotional stress and pain include the release of adrenaline, an adrenal gland response that occurs in reaction to fear-based emotions controlled by the sympathetic nervous system. The major emotion that releases adrenaline in the bloodstream is intense fear. Additionally, the adrenal glands play an important role in the fight or flight response by increasing blood flow to muscles, increasing pumping of the heart, pupil dilation, and controlling blood sugar. The function of adrenaline pumping into the bloodstream that occurs when a person is incited into terror or fear, combined with the negative alien agenda to produce as much negative emotional energy as possible for loosh harvesting, may be the primary reasons why most of humanity is in a state of total adrenal exhaustion. When a person does not correct adrenal exhaustion from pumping adrenaline or other stress hormones into the bloodstream, The next stage is nervous system freeze, the state of shock and numbness that occurs from sustained states of fight or flight reactions. At a certain point of experiencing continual pain or terror, the body and nervous system will go numb from adrenal hormone overload, which turns off emotional responses and closes down the heart. The adrenals are on top of each kidney, so they are directly impacted by kidney depletion, which also naturally leads to adrenal exhaustion. If we are doing something in our life that is really disharmonious to our spirit, and our day-to-day job is not authentic to who we are, this also drains the kidneys, adrenals, and our life force. When we are being forced to cope with difficult life stressors in our job, relationship, or other situations, our body may be undergoing deep unconscious emotional stress. We may feel unsupported and stressed out from having to work really hard just to meet our financial obligations, or feeling forced to make things happen in order to survive. During the ascension cycle, for many, the careers, jobs, and relationships we have made in the third dimensional reality are no longer compatible with who we are becoming. Our body is sending us the message through adrenal exhaustion that we can no longer live in the same way. We have to make changes, and the first change we have to make is the shift of our consciousness through the death of the ego. Planetary control for human kidney chi. During the bifurcation phase, the Saturn construct in the first dimensional grid of the Earth started to dismantle, and a fierce attempt to control or regain the kidney life force produced by the human body in the collective consciousness field has been an issue in the field over the last 18 months. Specifically, the kidneys are vulnerable, and they need our attention to reclaim them from the slavery overlays, and to reclaim the prana seeds and chi energies, to reclaim what they hold as spiritual imprints for our blood, towards rebuilding our heart center and evolving our kidneys into their higher purpose for our ascending body. When the lower vortices dissolved, the planetary chakra reconfiguration in the lower areas of the first and second dimension revealed specific alien architecture. These overlays encrypt the human body to be a slave at the point of birth in the transduction sequence record in the core manifestation body or 12-tree grid. The core manifestation template of the 12-tree grid has the instruction set to control the function of organs and glands at every dimensional level, as the glands are specific to secreting chemical substances and hormones that allow our human consciousness to multidimensionally travel in higher time vectors. This function was stolen by the negative aliens, exerting an assortment of artificial controls over the 12-tree grid and the planet, which impacts the Albion awakening in the planetary body. There are giant crystal stasis beings that are asleep in the Earth body that are the keys to awaken the Albion body architecture in the United Kingdom landmass. To maintain control over the human body as it comes into the manifest form in the third dimensional timelines, coding is inserted into the reptilian tail in the first dimensional area. This is an ownership implant that tags all humans as property of negative alien groups. These tags are used to route people on Earth in future dimensions of time, to work in slave colonies or assorted galactic trafficking schemes that are supervised by these off-planet corporation conglomerates and draconian groups. This alien tag in the reptilian tail is the energy signature of the negative alien agenda ownership coding. It takes life force and vital forces from out of the kidneys, and the kidney life force in most humans drains out of the perineum and is run back into the earth grid to be collected in dark matter and taken to Saturn for archontic control. The Orion Black Sun groups place copyright and legal controls on human body parts, genetic material, and the human tree of life. This is because it gave them easier access to monitor and control the information relating to the structure of the soul, multidimensional anatomy, and they believe that the human race is owned by the draconian races or Orion groups of the negative alien agenda. It is the draconians who are behind this effort of ownership of humans and their spiritual body parts, as well as harvesting their organs and glands. Human kidneys have direct connection to the Ka battery body in our etheric body, and by compromising our kidneys, they get access to the Ka electromagnetic battery body of the human soul. They also harvest the planetary body equivalent, draining a massive quantum of energy from the earth. All main internal organs are being drained from the kidney chi drain and blockage of Kundalini activation, achieved from alien machinery and implantation. The kidney is the starting point of the drain that impacts the liver, lung, spleen, and heart. All organs have a spiritual intelligence that has a higher purpose, which they have not been able to embody previously. As the grounding mechanism is reconfigured in the earth and the human body, these organs are starting to be reconnected into their higher purpose and function in the body during the ascension. Some human bodies are ill-prepared for this, as the internal circuitry has been disconnected from pharmaceuticals or other harmful neurological exposures, which make it harder for the body to adapt to new functions. Draconian groups are involved in a galactic human trafficking operation in the solar system, which includes organ harvesting in a variety of methods that includes growing humans in labs for this purpose and taking genetic sampling where they grow organs and glands from cloned bodies. If we have cloned bodies where our tissues have been sampled in other dimensions, this may interfere with our organs functioning well in this body. The return to rightful owner command can be useful for reclaiming body parts. Some human groups that we know from previous lifetimes made a deal with the Draconians and sold the rest of us out. The deal was they would be allowed to have access to esoteric knowledge, ascension, law of one, and how to free themselves from the earth phantom realms, but it would be totally overseen by draconian control, and the numbers with access to this information would be extremely limited and controlled, as they still exerted rights of harvesting energy and life force that they want to run off planet. The harvesting of life force in human organs from Earth allows them to live thousands of years, while we die early deaths, making it very easy for them to be much more advanced technologically and otherwise. Many of the people who made a deal with the negative alien agenda have undergone severe satanic ritual abuse, torture methods in other realms to make sure they maintain compliance on the Earth. This includes the groups fighting over disclosure right now on and off planet, and the fact they want immunity from being held accountable for what they have done, as it becomes revealed in the future and this whole sordid tale unravels. They do not want full disclosure for this reason. They want to be believed dead or gone to another planet when this information comes out to the public. At this time, it may be helpful to connect all communication and spiritual links between the kidneys and all the main organs as you are guided to help stabilize physical issues if you are having them. Focus is upon the kidneys, but all organs are being affected as we undergo the change of energetic structure in the field. It is suggested to use the quick step, PDD, for reclaiming your kidneys, sexual organs, and main organs, as well as glands and the energies they generate, as you feel guided. This is consciously participating with reclaiming the spirit and vital essence of internal organs, as well as reclaiming their proper circulation and higher expression to come online, to help strengthen the physical body's ability to circulate all three main life force energies into the organ and gland, etheric nidus and meridians, life force, physical vitality, and spiritual energies. For those on the ascending path, this is becoming more possible, while those on the descending path may be having more kidney-related disease labels. Current energetic key themes for light body support: emphasis on resetting and supporting the root chi energy configuration to better support lower organ function and spiritual foundation. Alignment of horizontal and vertical networks that have had an onslaught of spirit attachments at the black hole and white hole intersections. Supporting kidneys, adrenals, urinary bladder, reproductive organs, removing fragments and attachments to these organs. Clearing auric harnesses and chi siphons from spirit attachments. Clearing suppressor parasites as etheric weaponry from fifth-dimensional timelines. Clearing karmic influences from bare lineages from Ursa Major influences upon the collective race of humanity and the human tribes. Focusing on correcting our mitochondrial record to align to our cosmic mother.